being human is one of the most important things that we can do, where technology is overemphasized. And in Greece, we have an opportunity to really connect with other people, and that's an important thing in social media marketing, for sure. Engaging a community can be one of the most powerful tools that companies have in an era of real-time distributed and hyper-social media. Consider this. The interest graph, Twitter, contains key influencers related to our customers' markets. Consider this. The social graph, Facebook, is best entered by intelligence gathered within the interest graph. Twitter is like a scope. It's like a scope on a sniper's rifle. Consider this. The conversation cloud and metadata get us in touch with collective intelligence that then give us collective influence, right? We want the intelligence on the collective so that we can have or develop collective influence. We want the collective to influence our brand's customers. That's our goal. Okay, so here's the scope. This is something I've been working on, the Worldwide Mind, the worldwidemind.com. My thought is that what if instead of Google, what if instead of that field, I was searching the various stripes of the social networks, the various stripes of the social universe, rather. And what would that be like for me as a researcher, for example, in a planning process for an ad? Great quote from Jeff Dashis of the Dashis Group, probably one of the leading groups in terms of social business. So social business is when we take what we're doing in social networks and apply that internally to the organization or the enterprise. Jeff says about stories, which by the way are a very important part of what we're doing in social networks, a social business can transform the brand story from talking points, testimonials, and on-brand visual assets to a collection of authentic stories that build strong connections across all constituencies. Personal stories from suppliers can be shared with end consumers to make a product more than a product. Stories from consumers can be circulated back into business to help everyone in the chain see how they are impacting lives for the better. So stories transform organizations into social businesses. Hub and spoke, I believe, is the best way to organize for social business. Better than the hierarchy. In this case, you have all of the silos around whatever we're doing together, right? We've got customer service, HR, marketing, sales, around what we're working on. So ask yourself these questions. As an agency and as a brand, let's ask ourselves these questions. Number one, how much time are we spending as an agency on conversation or community analysis at the outset of the social marketing project, and then ongoing? Number two, are we satisfied with our process for deriving insight, customer intelligence, and stories from our current social monitoring solution? And then number three, have we considered hiring individuals trained in psychology and journalism to A, analyze conversations within social communities, and B, create, mash up, or curate sticky conversation starters from insights derived from social objects and threads? Number four, have we realized the full potential of non-branded Twitter communities as a valuable resource in gaining customer insight and competitive intelligence and in our storytelling process? When I can create even a community of 100 people or 1,000 people around a very specific topic in Twitter who are all influencers, I've got a lot of really good information for planning. So this window right here is out of People Browser. And what we're doing in there is building on-the-fly communities in Twitter initially around any topic that you can think of. It's a very, very powerful research tool. So consider this. Consider the power of a spot-on Excel spreadsheet of 100 key influencers with social links and plus a summation of these influencers' latest messages or social objects and a graph of who follows them and who they follow. We find the Facebook. We've got data on that in terms of Facebook likes and influence, which is a developing kind of thing with file and peer index and data stick, of course. And then we move more into some personal information, locations, the website, the LinkedIn profile, Quora, YouTube, etc., etc., etc. All of that information gives us content ideas. It gives us possibility in terms of relationship and conversation. Okay? That kind of knowledge is going to make the crowd much easier to navigate, to discover your influencers inside of, and then to take some action. Okay? Okay, so how do I do that? How do you do what I just talked about? How do you answer those questions? So first of all, you need someone that's going to look at this data. So this is from internet savvy users in Greece. What I did was, for one of your large banks a few months ago, is I aggregated influencers related to digital and internet in America and in the UK, and then I aggregated influencers in the Greek internet, all of them, and then I looked at who was in conversation across the pond, and then I looked at who was creating original content out of those conversations. And then I ranked those people, and then I put them inside of Clout and Peer Index and influencer tools to discover who really had the most influence. And by the way, in the Greek internet savvy group, your journalists are some of your highest influential people in terms of Twitter, by the way. So when I look at word counts and when I look at tag counts, how do I find out what this means? What do I do with it? I'm gonna list major topics. I'm gonna list major content in those topics, and I'm gonna make some comments on that major content. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna deliver those to the creative director as an accent or a adjunct or a complement to the creative director's internal genius and what he or she is doing. Okay, and I'm going to go into the last 100 tweets of the top 100 influencers and summarize what they've been tweeting about. I'm also going to find all of their other social properties, okay? And I'm going to deliver those also to the creative director, right? And to the community manager, because all this information, if a campaign has a community manager, is valuable to that community manager in relationship building, right? With different groups of people. And that facilitates an emotional connection, obviously, with your customer. Okay? Here's the problem. 1,000 True Fans is all about the long tail. It's all about what I can do over the lifetime of an artist, right? The Rolling Stones have a beautiful long tail. The Doors have a beautiful long tail. And by the way, Greece has a great long tail. Think about that. Okay? Your culture is strong and potent and powerful and continues to be so. And there's something in that to think about. Okay, so when I have 1,000 True Fans, that provides the roots, trunk, and branches for virality, and I would say virility too, something that's got potency to it, community and potent buzz, and money too. And of course, getting those 1,000 True Fans, or we can multiply that, 10,000 True Fans, 100,000 True Fans, 1 million True Fans, we can start with some key influencers that have a lot of followers, that are interested in what our brand is all about, or our figure, or entertainment celebrity, or whatever. So here's the process. Number one, use third-party microscopes like ResearchLead to dig into a tool like Twitter and extract out of Twitter communities, non-branded communities, on-the-fly, non-branded communities around whatever it is that your brand's customer is interested in, right? Begin with keywords from the brand. Ask your brand manager, ask the account manager that's in charge of the brand agency, ask the marketing manager, what are some keywords that you associate? And then also assign your research department or planning department to that same process. All right? Number two, discover the most active and engaged influencers related to your vertical markets and competitors. That spreadsheet that I showed you earlier are active people inside of Greece around internet-related and digital issues. And I'm actively watching that. Number three, discover the conversation across the entire fabric of the worldwide mind. Be where your customer is right now. What Christos Latos said about real-time campaigns is right on. We have to be exactly where our customer is right now. And the social networks give us that opportunity. And then, of course, the spreadsheet I showed you earlier. Out of this work, create that spreadsheet of your graph in both the interest and social graphs, and then discover volume and influence related to quality content in the best context. So if you take away anything from what I'm saying today, it's about, in social marketing, it's about quality content in a quality context. That's what you want to be all about. Step 5, once you're into these social networks, you want to get engaged with people. You want to be conversing with them, right? So you want to be commenting and interacting. And that fans the flame of whatever campaign you're doing. When I know what key influencers are saying, to whom, where, and when, then I'm in the know and can deliver quality content into a quality context. By the way, this content grid, which Jess 3, a great artist out of San Francisco, developed, shows areas of content that make sense for different aspects or different people around a brand, okay? So with the blue oval there is what staff ideally inside of a brand would own. Outside of that blue oval is content that maybe, you know, is third party, that's relevant to our brand that we can use or we can mash up or we can add to our campaign, okay? That can support what we're doing. And again, as I just said, that quality content and quality context leads to engagement and income. So if you're investing in anything, invest in quality business intelligence, invest in proven technologies that work, market-specific creative, so people that are producing creative that fits for your audience, and then finally, proactive community management. Eleftherios, who's going to be speaking in just a moment, is a world-class community manager. And sometimes it's appropriate to have a community manager. Sometimes you want to do a campaign that kicks off a viral situation where the community itself does the work for you. And obviously that's the real win in social networks, is to get the community around brand doing it for you. But sometimes it helps to have a community manager helping with that. The next video I'm going to show you is from People Browser headquarters a few weeks ago in San Francisco. And it's the former CMO of Kodak, the current CMO of Yahoo, and the current CMO of Virgin, Porter Gale, talking with Jody Rich of People Browser, the founder of one of these intelligence tools that I use. And the interviewer is one of the lead editors from Ad Age. And where the conversation goes is very interesting because there's a lot of talk about what I talk about now, and look at the question at the end of this video. The question at the end of this video is a question I get asked a lot in Greece. I bet you can guess what it is.
This is the first time in human evolution that we've been able to measure so many interesting things: sentiment, emotion, influence. My problems with influence scores we see now is they don't measure the yin and yang of influence. I think that influence has to be, like the universe, it has to be karmic. We have to be measuring both what we're receiving and both what we're giving. And when we add all that together, suddenly brands like Yahoo and Virgin and Kodak and others have this extraordinary amount of source data that is absolutely generic to the communities they want to sell to and the countries and cities they want to sell to. And all of this raw data. And we don't need Nielsen anymore. And at some point, actually, we don't even need some of the very deep web analytics we have, because we have pretty real conversations. So we're all Anne Franks in a way. We're like this wonderful account of human history to life. And we're able to turn that into numbers that we can then share and give back to each other.
I just want to know, we can turn that into stories and numbers, but how do you turn it into dollars?
It absolutely becomes dollars when it becomes what people are really thinking about us. The dots become so different.
It absolutely becomes dollars when it becomes about what people are really thinking about us. That's why planning, and that's why the derivation of insight out of conversations is so important. Thank you very much.